It is ST Kaizen, otherwise known as I Am Kaizen, and today we got a special comic review. Today we're going to be covering Absolute Batman issue 23, the first appearance of Clayface. So this is my first little comic breakdown video. So if I keep looking off, it's because I got a little script I'm trying to read to actually get through this. So first off, I've not done a video on any of the other past series, so I'm relying on you guys to have read the series already. And big spoilers ahead for issue 23. I just want to get that out of the way. I do plan to hopefully go back through 1 through 22 and do like a whole video explaining each one, maybe, if you guys want. For right now, I'm just going to cover the current issues, where it's at, and talk about some things and some of the story details. So let's get straight into it. Opening up, this issue starts with Alfred and his daughter Julia both having a discussion. Alfred is now planning on informing his London intelligence agency, whoever he's working for really, that he is planning on taking a leave of absence. And this is going to be super cool because we have not really seen who Alfred's been working for this whole time. We just know that he's like an MIA agent who's here to investigate the Joker. But he's stumbled upon Batman, aka Bruce, and is kind of grown attached to him. So I'm interested to see who he's actually working for, if there's like a bigger bad, like, you know, maybe it might connect to the Court of Owls, or maybe it might have a connection to Joker and he's being played the whole time. Because that's been something interesting since the beginning of the series that we haven't really discussed, but I'm really hoping it's something major. I could see something like it being like Strange or something like that, like somebody who's like a big top bad. I'm trying to think of like some like really crazy stuff that could be, because there's lots of possibilities that it could be, but maybe Strange, because we have not seen Strange play his role yet, so maybe. Next up, we're going to talk about also the fact with Alfred and Julia during their discussion, after he says about taking the leave of absence. Julia kind of fires back at him, saying, is like, oh, you're always caring about others, but more importantly it's about yourself. Because what Julia sees it as is, even though he's trying to help Bruce out and stuff like that, he's really doing it for his own mission and stuff like that. Like, the whole mission's all about getting the Joker, and Julia's made multiple comments saying that his whole hunt has basically affected those around him, leaving Alfred to constantly be in a state of like chase of cat and mouse, leaving Julia behind and not really being able to raise her. And she shoots back at him, talking about how all this stuff is just really about himself and hurting the ones around him. And I think that's a very powerful point, because Alfred has really been on like a whole like I need to be here like stunt. Like, he's been in Gotham for over like 3 months now in the time of the story, and he's really just been kind of just sitting there, like, you know what I mean, he's been kind of just watching from the sidelines, which is really interesting, because from what we've gotten from the first 2 issues, Alfred's been out there, he's been doing all sorts of stuff, but now he's just kind of like a standstill, and we're not exactly sure why, but hopefully they'll clear more of that up as the issues go on. Next up into the issue, they jump straight into it too, the favorite Robin tier list. So it looks like each Robin's kind of getting voted to be kind of like the best, which is super interesting, because I feel like that's like a Slade setup to get them against each other to make like one ultimate Robin, which is super cool, because they haven't really stated it, but it really comes down to like it might be like a pick and choose of who actually Robin's gonna be, which makes me wonder what they're gonna plan to do with the rest of the characters, but we will dive more about that on later. So in between that, Dick is actually said to be the least favorite, which is super funny, because in reality he's probably the most liked Robin, aka Nightwing, you know what I mean, he's probably the most favorite, so him being at the bottom of the list is just kind of funny, and I wonder how that's gonna play out as it goes on to the future. Stephanie and forget who the second person is, so I deeply apologize, because it's probably gonna hit me what his name is. I want to say Doug, but I know it's not Doug. But they all have, like, you know what I mean, their own stuff going on too, and it's super interesting, so I wonder how all of them are gonna go. Jason and Tim seem to be like best buddies. I kind of like that. Jason and Tim have always struck me as like the two who would get together, like, you know, not like get together, but like two close friends, you know what I mean? So I thought that was really cool. Going right after that, they keep switching off. So it goes from Alfred to the Robins, to Bullock actually checking up on Barbara, and we see a little bit more of Barbara since last time we saw her in issues 18 and 19, I believe. She is bulked up insanely. She is like getting to Bruce level, and it's gonna be scary when she makes her full appearance next month, because the Bat is gonna be somebody we should be on the lookout for. So I'm really interested for a lot of things. I will talk more about that one as well at the end of the video, because I want to discuss a little bit about the Bat. But yeah, Bullock has been checking in on Barbara. Barbara's been more distance. It's kind of really cool too, because now that she's lost her father and Bruce has lost his, we might see like a little bit of duality, because they can relate on something there, and knowing eventually that when she finds out that Gordon actually deeply cared for Bruce and Martha, that is going to be a huge turning point, where like when Martha reveals that to her, it's going to probably break everything that she knows, and it's going to transform her as well. So that's a really cool story setup that I can't wait to see in the future. 24, 25, please make it happen. Going off to another thing too, we have Harley being done with the Batman. So yeah, officially she has said that she is done with him after the whole disagreement over the last couple of issues, especially when Bruce almost got himself killed and the Red Hoods had to save the Bat from the Robins. I really like Harley Quinn. She's probably hands down my favorite character of the absolute Batman run, because she just feels so much like Damian Wayne. Like, she deeply like wants to help this guy, but at the same time he's just doing everything on his own. He does not care. She like is literally putting everything that she has. She told him his whole backstory and everything like that, and he just kind of like brushes it off. Like, this, she is the daughter of fucking Jack Grimm. Like, dude, this is like probably like the man that's been trained everything. That she's literally Damian Wayne. Like, literally, she has like the intelligence, the skills. Like, this man literally definitely came back and had her after he did like all of the traveling and everything like that. So she is definitely a prodigy. Like, I mean, already look at her. She got a gang, got the mallet. Like, literally, she's her. So yeah, I like to make the comparison that Harley Quinn is basically the Damian Wayne of the series, and even though they may be at odds right now, I can definitely see Harley sticking up for Batman again and coming in to save him. And if that's the case, I love it. I feel like she's definitely the perfect like character, because currently right now Damian Wayne's kind of like a character that sets off in the end of the series, or more at the end of Batman's like run. So having somebody that's very similar is a lot better than actually having to put him in there, and I think that's for the best in my opinion. Going into the Falcone and Bruce's backstory, we finally got the Bat stuff, you know, the Bat, which is basically him like in a ski mask terrorizing people that owe the Falcones money, and we finally got the information from issue, it was 7, when Matches met up with Bruce, and he says he thanked them for what he did before his untimely death, actually, which we still don't know about. But we see in this issue that Bruce actually stuck up for Matches when Matches was at his lowest, and he was like literally a drug fiend at a hotel, literally living off a change. Freaking Bruce was there, and he stuck up for him. He could have chosen to kill him. He almost did, and then he had a self-realization that this is somebody he cares about. He should not be doing this, and I just love that. It's like a call back all the way from freaking, what is it? So that was issue 7. This is 23, almost like 14 issues ago. Like, Matches really like cared for his homie, and it goes to show that Bruce really cared for him too. We don't exactly know why Matches turned into like the fiend as he is today. Probably a big backstory behind that. But it was super interesting, and super sad to know that Matches really did not have a really good life in the story. I know that I shouldn't be scoffing at that, but Matches was somebody really cool and always been like an alter ego, so seeing him in this was super cool. But yeah, we finally had what that payback was, so shout out Bruce for saving him there. Finally get into the meat and potatoes of the story. We have the group's full first appearance, so everybody has come to confront Bruce about his dilemmas, as Bruce is looking through the boards and photos, connecting stuff from Arc D to Scarecrow. We even possibly got a first look at Scarecrow without his mask, which is super interesting. So getting right back into what I was saying, new day, so yeah, apologize for the cut. Anyways, going straight into it, the group finally appears before Bruce, and they all want to help him, but Bruce is in so far of a delusion that he thinks everybody's against him, and he does this really cool like connect the dots kind of vibe, where it's like, he's like, oh, Oswald, you were connected to the Penguin, and like Two-Face was Judas and Janice, and the dualities of humankind and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool, because by the end of it, when Bruce goes like full like bat mode, and I think that's really cool too, how they're exploring that they want to help Bruce, not Batman. That's the whole reason why they're there for Bruce and not Batman. But Bruce is so far into the dilemma of his own head that he is the Batman, that it's become like kind of like a second personality to him. And I thought that was really cool, because when he kind of goes full bat, he puts on the mask and even goes after his own mother. And I thought that was really powerful, because it goes to show that this figure, the Batman actually, is like kind of corrupting our absolute Bruce and making him kind of feel like a one-off, like he's alone, isolated. And I think his time in Arc M kind of really pushed that too. So I'm really interested to see how he's going to be able to get the respect back. It's going to be a little bit of a trust issue going forward. So I'm hoping, you know what I mean, they'll be able to figure their differences, because I'd love to see Two-Face, the Riddler, Penguin, Killer Croc, and Batman be like the big five in Gotham City. But yeah, so after their whole confrontation, Bruce runs away, and they show the whole picture of the Scarecrow face in it being all of his plans. I just wanted to throw that in there, being super cool. But after the Batman runs, he actually goes and looks for one of the Robins, which we cut back to Jason actually leaving, because before, when they're having the whole voting thing, Jason said he was going to go out and look for him, and they actually end up meeting each other in like a random spot, and Jason decides to capture him when Batman just wants to talk to him. But then we hear the crows, and then the craziest part of the whole issue, in my opinion, the crows appear, and on the suit apparently was Clayface. Clayface was on Jason's suit the whole time, or must have been recently. He must have slipped on there. But then the crows go in. I love whenever they're able to make Batman feel so human, like when he's screaming like the Punisher in his TV show. Like he's like, no, the crows. I just find that hilarious. I love that, because it makes it feel so real, because in the end of the day, he's not like some superhuman. He's literally just a guy in a suit trying to do like what he thinks is best, like just what most vigilantes like would be like in real life. And I think that's really cool, because it goes into a really big moment, key moment. So spoilers here, if you haven't get into it, cut it off now. But basically, as Jason is celebrating, he calls up Tim, who shows up as his backup, and while they're celebrating and not realizing it, they get attacked by Clayface, and Clayface ends up skewering Tim Drake, which means our first Robin is officially KO'd from the slots. And it's gonna be super crazy, because Tim was one of the most well-liked in the city, and it gets into the whole thing I was saying before, that it seems like they're going to kind of dwindle each one of these Robins down till they have like one key Robin. And I'm really interested to see, because that makes me think that Jason Todd might end up being like the final one to become their Red Hood, kind of like the Arkham Knight, you know what I mean? Which would be really cool, because imagine like if the rest of them don't make it in and get their own like thing, it's all right. But if Jason Todd ends up being like the final one, he becomes like this version, the absolute Red Hood, where he just blames Batman for everything. I thought that would be really cool and awesome way to connect it, because it feels just so like natural, to be honest. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I was not expecting that moment. And then when Batman and Clayface actually have their first interaction, it's just nothing but a back and forth, like a you do you, or I am him. So the issue concludes actually with Batman and Clayface having their first confrontation. He isn't able to fight him, because he's literally just made of clay, so he just phases right through him, and Clayface escapes. And sadly, it is sad, because Tim Drake is gone, but they were able to recreate the Death in the Family iconic homage really to when Batman first picks up Jason Todd's corpse. And it's just really powerful, because like again, this stuff just keeps happening to like the people around them, and it goes back to what Julia and Alfred were saying at the beginning, which is super cool, because right at the beginning again, talking about how the actions of what they're doing is affecting others around them. And this is proof enough that even though that the Robins were their enemies, Batman never wanted to actually hurt them. And now, because of what's going on and what he did, it kind of led him to to kind of get Jason, like not just not Tim Drake killed, and it's gonna hurt his like psyche a little bit more, you know what I mean, his pride, because like Batman is supposed to be like an uplifting citizen that protects the people of Gotham, and this one right here just keeps making mistakes and mistakes and mistakes, and even though it's like what he's trying to do is right, it's not the right thing essentially to do for the situation. It's just a lot of stuff. I love what Scott and Nick Dragotta are doing. This issue was an easy 10 out of 10. 24 is going to be insane, was the introduction of the Bat, aka Barbara Gordon. I'm really excited. This has been such a phenomenal run, to be honest. This whole Scarecrow arc has been so top tier. There's so many other characters too we have yet to see, which we might see in the next arc. So let's see how it goes from there. I hope you guys enjoyed this little book review, comic review. I have never really done one of these before, so I hope I did well, and maybe I might try to add more pictures. I don't know how I'm gonna do with pictures and stuff like that, adding it. Maybe I'll just leave it as a talk video. But yeah, been loving Absolute Batman. Let me know what other Absolute series you guys would like to hear from, because I do read all of them. I'm currently reading through Absolute Superman and Absolute Batman again, and I have not started Absolute Wonder Woman, but besides that, I am pretty much caught up on everything. I am all in the know-how, and yeah, I love these comics. They've been phenomenal, been a huge inspiration for me to actually get more into talking about stuff and just yapping. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.